So I'm just gonna wing this video. So the point is to just show off that I can solve the 2x2 through 3x3 just to post on the blog. And I've taken the liberty to mix up all of these ones as well. So I have the 2x2 through 9x9. This is going to be a very long video, so yeah, stick around. I don't know, you can use the crackling noise of the cubes as like an ASMR sound, but I'll be providing some less than insightful commentary while I'll be solving these, try to like fill the air with some noise. But yeah, so I guess we'll get started. This video is probably gonna be like well over 3 hours. So, you know, yeah, buckle up. Let me just get the camera ready. So I'm not gonna try speed solving this. This is just to show that I can solve it. I'll probably be posting more information about the solves on the blog. So yeah, so let's start with the 2x2 and work our way up to the 9x9. So as usual, if you've ever solved one of these puzzles before, you'll know to start with the first layer. And yeah, so there's the first layer of the 2x2 done, and I can employ one of those speed solving algorithms to solve the first one. Let's do. Why do I have a spoon here? So now I have the 3x3. I've had this 3x3 for I don't know, a little while now, but I wouldn't ever go to competitions with this. I was more interested in the math behind all of these puzzles, but speed solving was like a little part of my younger years, right? I think I picked up my first one of these when I was about 7 years old, and I came up with an original solution to this when I was about 9 years old. Um, yeah, so well, I'm almost done here. I cannot remember my original solution for the life of me. Oh, by the way, I'm not using my original solution for these very basic and well-known puzzles just because like there are plenty of better and faster ways to approach these. Is this an 8 byte or a 9x9? No, this is the 8 byte. That's a 9x9. Okay, I'm counting the pieces wrong. But yeah, so I'm just employing some other solving methods just because these are the ones I know best. And for the higher order ones, I managed to generalize the 4x4 solve upward. Parity was a really big issue when I was learning to solve them on my own, and I think I'll talk more about parity on my blog. By the way, this is like the first time I'm actually playing with these puzzles in a long time. They were like sitting in a box collecting dust ever since I went to university, and yeah, so I'm fine. I'm really happy I get a chance to play with these. Oh, what's the order of that? What's the order again? So yellow on top, green in front. So it's then red on the side over here. All right. It's really important to have the centers done later, right? This is usually how we approach higher order cubes. You would start by creating a 3x3 and then solving that 3x3. And then the orange needs to go here. All right, so the centers, like the little 2x2 centers, are done on each side. And now it's time for the fun part, which is the edges. I think the edges are probably like my favorite part of any high order cube. Yeah, so let's see. And like I know there are like much faster ways to build the edges, but I am not a speed solver. Right, I think I've expressed that clearly. And then we can place that here. All right, cool. We got the white cross. And look at that, this edge is already made for us. So that's cool. I think I can probably solve a few edges at the same time. Let's put this one here. We can put this one here. All right, this edge is good. So now I can place this one here. And that edge will come here. So I would have to place this here. Place that here. All right, cool. We have our 3x3. Now let's just hope we don't run into parity for, I mean, the probability we not run into parity for any of these is like astronomically low, so I guess we're just gonna have to, you'll see me do some parity eventually, but that's probably like my least favorite part because there's a lot of room for error, especially since, oh god, I actually don't know the parity algorithm anymore. Okay, well, we didn't run into anything so bad this time. Alright, cool. Ooh, is there the edge parity here? No, there isn't. Okay, this is just a regular 3x3. Alright, 4x4 is done. On to the 5x5. I think I got my 5x5 well before I got a 4x4. I remember being really biased against even layered cubes just because you would have to keep track of where the centers are, because the very middle piece does not exist on a 2x2 or a 4x4 or any 8x8s or any even order cubes. So you would essentially be solving a higher order cube minus the middle. And that's actually how the mechanisms on these things work. This 2x2 is really just a 3x3, but there's like a little black edge you can see, and that's mechanically equivalent to the black edge, or just the edge on the 3x3. I talk about mechanical equivalence on my blog, or I mean, not yet, right? Actually haven't written anything on the blog, so right now the bare bones of the website is up. But yeah, it'll be fleshed out in the future eventually. All right, that's the other center done. I remember being pretty fast at 5x5. Like I got this cube at my first year of community college, or like, so it would have been my senior year, but I just never bothered to finish high school. So I went straight to community college because I couldn't bear to bear to live through high school, especially with the pandemic and all. So I remember pulling out this exact cube and over Zoom, and one of my professors was like, "Oh my God, is that a giant Rubik's cube?" And so I just showed it to her, right? Because I was fidgeting with it over Zoom, and I proceeded to just never turn on my camera afterwards because I felt like I was disrupting her class. She was a great professor. Uh, I think I had her for English. All right, well, now the centers are done, by the way, so now I can go on to the edges. And at this point, my commentary will probably become very stale. There's not really much to talk about, especially when I'm trying to focus on, getting these puzzles solved. I'll probably just update my progress. Like right now, this is another edge done. Like I said, this is gonna be a really long video. I can put that one here. This one there. Whoops. I think I broke an edge. There we go. Alright, that's the first 4 edges done. I can already taste the parity. Man, I don't know what I would do if I just didn't encounter parity on any of these. Like, I know the probabilities is essentially 0, but because the probability like increases with each cube, let alone having all the cubes together. So yeah, maybe because like I really don't want to just like mess up a cube just to hope to get parity, but at the same time I know that'll probably just make the video even more boring as much as it already is. But I think we won't have to worry about that because I think there's a parity coming up here, and you'll see what I mean. Yep, there we go. So let me actually finish solving the 3x3 and I'll show you guys. But this edge, these two pieces would have to swap to actually finish the edge. So, okay, let me see if I remember. Yeah, dude, muscle memory is not failing me. Man, it's been forever, dude. All right. Yeah, when did I first come to Riverside? It was hmm. Actually, let me look up the date because I remember posting a video on a now dead channel, but I have it on my phone, of me just going through all the cubes, like the 200 plus cubes I have. Yeah, let me actually pause this really quick and try to look it up. Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now, and the day I packed all of these up to hide away in their boxes was September 9th, 2024, and the day is May 14th. So, yeah, quite a few months. I can't do math. How many months is that? From May to September, June, July, August. Yeah, so that's so oh my God, I can't think. 8, 9 months? Good Lord. All right, well, these things are out of their box and ready to be used now, so good for them. And you actually do not get edge swapping parity on odd layered cubes. Instead, you would just get even parity, which would happen when the two where edges would get flipped across from each other, uh, which is where you get the, let me see if I remember how to do this. Yeah, so you would have two edges that need to be swapped, which is impossible on a 3x3. And this only occurs when, what I just said happens on odd layered cube. By the way, again, for all even layered cubes, there's just a middle 5x5 layer being hidden. So again, mechanical equivalence shows up here. Let me put the 5x5 on the bottom. And that's the 5x5 done in 12 minutes. So onto the 6x6. I think out of all of these, the 5x5 would probably be one of my favorites, and then the 6x6 would be soon after. There's a lot of history behind the 6x6 specifically. Maybe. Well, I'll probably link to a video in the description. Look at me, I'm talking like a YouTuber. Check out the video in the description, guys. But there's this one video stating that there's like a bit of history behind the 6x6 because it is the first cube to employ thicker outer edges relative to the middle. And this is because you don't want the corners falling off. And so they had to make the outer layers much thicker so that, there's some mechanism of the corner that can reach the center, which I think is really cool. And that is the white edge, or the white face, done. And the way I approach solving the faces is that I usually have the white edge on one side, and then I do the yellow on the opposite side, and that way I could just, roll the cube in my hands to solve everything else, right? Rather than just like looking everywhere, which is, kind of a mess. All right, well, that's half of the yellow. And then all right, and then once more, I just need one more. By the way, the way I'm constructing the edge is that I build it in strips, which is I think is what everyone does, and then I would roll the cube around to like look for the other pieces, and then I would build another strip, and yeah, after that I would move the strip into its occupying spot and move it around, and then bring the strip that I kicked away back down. So now we have a full yellow edge, or yellow face. And now I'm rolling these cubes. So I'm starting with the orange because I see a lot of orange pieces. Alright, well that's 2 orange edges solved. Oh, well, 3 solved actually. Nope, only 2 solved. Because that one decided to move out of the way. Alright, I forgot the order again. So it's green on this side. Or actually I see a lot of... No, I don't want to do red. Because if I do an orange and then the red, I'll have to 180 the cube a bunch to look for pieces, and I'd rather just, you know, do them sequentially, so I'll probably do either the blue or the green first. And I can probably do the green one here really fast. There we go. That's most of the red. And now I can do, whoops, other way. All right. Yeah, those are all the centers done. Yeah, at this point it becomes more tedious than actual problem solving abilities. But you know, I think it's a pretty fun time waster, right? Just having something in your hand and then, you know, organizing it until it's finally like all, you know, uniform on all the sides, which I think is really fun. All right, that's another edge. So that's 2 edges right now. And I can make a third if I can find that last one. Yep. I'll put this here. Put that there. Put this here. And I would... Alright, that's all the edges. Or all the white edges. And now I can focus on any other edges I want. Usually the plan is to have only the white edges, because now I can also just rotate the cube on its side and look for all of these, and I know safely that none of them are on the bottom, because this is like an awkward move or like an awkward motion to try to look for pieces. Alright, so I can probably do these now. Oh, someone sent me a text. Alright, it was a false alarm. But let's get back to this. So we're closing in on 20 minutes. I don't think I could solve this anytime soon. Or before the 20 minutes. Yeah. I've seen those Cuber videos where they have the, you know, they're just incredibly fast and like everything they do. Like I remember when a record that went unbroken for like 5 years was broken by Max something. They made a Netflix documentary about the dude, and later on he broke a record. Like that was like big news. because we're like quickly approaching the human limit. All right, well that's all the top edges done. Now I like to fix the centers because usually like they can be trivially solved when they're mixed up like this. You could just like algorithmically just make sure the tops, like one edge matches or one slice matches the next, and if it does, you would keep spinning. Now that matches, now that matches. And now honestly I've never found a fast way, or I've never bothered to look up for a faster way to solve edges, but this is how I like to do it, where if I see an edge that's really close to completion and I see one that's right here, or if I wanted to flip this edge, I would kick it out, I would move it back in, and now this edge is on the bottom, but I actually want it in the top position because its position is on the bottom here, so that way if I move its home twice, so that way it's over here, then I'd flip the edge. Now this is in its right spot. And now if I move it back twice, it meets up with this edge over here, and now that one's solved. And so now I just need these two. And there is definitely some parity here. I can already smell it. Oh, there isn't. Wow, I was wrong. That seriously looked like parity. All right, well, cool. No parity on even layered cubes, which is nice. Sometimes you would be able to get parity, so like instead of just two of the edges flipping, you would get the whole edge flipping, and so it would be undistinguishable from actual parity until you were able to solve it. Because, like I said, there's like no edge in the middle to sort of or give you a relative orientation of where the pieces are supposed to be. So if this group is swapped with this group, I won't be able to tell until I come close to solving it. All right, you see we have parity because these two need to swap with these two. Muscle memory, don't fail me now. There we go. All right, cool. Now I can solve it normally. All right, so 6x6 is done at 23 minutes. Onto the 7x7. Oh, and looks like I did a poor job of mixing it up because there's already an edge or a line done. That's fine though. I'm happy to take a little bit less work. So that's two lines done right there. It's a hair between the cubes. It looks like an eyelash. I'm genuinely debating whether I should post this video or not. It's probably like, I'm gonna tell myself, oh, it's just for the blog, but I wouldn't, I've never been happy with my voice on camera or my face. So I'll either just upload this blindly without even looking at it, or just, not upload it. If anyone is seeing this, well, congratulate me for pushing past my fear of posting. Oh, by the way, the white edge is done, and now I'm working on the first slice for the yellow side. So we got this one. Alright, that's the yellow thing done, and now I could just cycle through here and try to... I've done plenty of these, what would you call them, marathons of cube solving, just, you know, on my own, but I've never been motivated to actually post something. But, you know, here's my first video ever on YouTube with that I'm associating my identity with. I've uploaded plenty of YouTube videos before, either for projects or, you know, just like as jokes to share with friends, but I never really did anything for a passion project, or at least no social media posting for a passion project. But yeah, after 10 plus years of finally, you know, loving to solve and come up with solutions to these cubes, I'm finally doing it. And that's the green side done. Oh, the red side just finished itself as well. That's cute. Alright, red is halfway done. Ooh, I forgot to do that. Let's see. Alright, well, there we go. Now I can do this. Oh, you'll often encounter stuff like this where you just need to swap two pieces, and that's impossible, so I have to give up here now. I'm kidding, by the way. You wouldn't actually swap two pieces, you would do a 3-cycle. So, and you would swap these pieces with an equivalent piece. So first I will bring this one up here. Now, I can't just bring the orange back down, otherwise that would just undo everything. So what I have to do, I would have to put an orange up here. That way when I bring this one down, the orange is solved. And I kicked out an entire blue row, so when I put this back, look at that. And so we did a 3-cycle with this piece, and this piece. And that's a commutator. So now that I have that, let me I did the first edge, by the way. Let's see. I just need one more piece for the green edge, or green and white edge. I don't see it though. Yeah, this is always though. There we go. The worst part is like when you get with bigger and bigger cubes, you have to look for a piece individually, right? If you're set on finding it. I have no idea how like the pro solvers do it. They could just look at a cube in 2 seconds and then know immediately where everything is, and then, you know, move their fingers accordingly. Roommate. Oh, I built an. I was so focused on building another edge, or I thought I finished all the white edges, but I built this one by accident. Just to try to be careful not to mess it up when I do the other ones. Alright, let's go. That's all the edges, and I did this edge as well. Yeah, I always get stuck looking for a specific piece. Alright, now we have these, so I can just put these ones in right away. That's another edge. And that's 8 out of the 4 edges complete. Now let's just do this thing again. Oh, I taste some parity. Yeah, there it is. And so you would know which ones to switch based on which ones match the center. If you're doing an even layered puzzle and you don't know which ones to swap, either the outer ones or the inner ones, you would just do one and then you would run into a different parity later on. So that's cool. Alright, cool. Parity's done. Now it's the 3x3 stage. Oh, that's cool. An edge was already placed in. I didn't have to do anything. And that edge was placed. Oh my god. I wish this was an actual 3x3 solve. I mean, not like I'm timing myself or anything. We just passed 35 minutes though, so. And now I know this algorithm. Seven by 7 is done. Alright, and we just about to hit 36 minutes. I think the intro took around 1 minute, so we'll call this section 35. I could have sworn this, like I remember when I first solved the 9x9, not this 9x9, I have a different 9x9. The only reason I got this is that it's also cubic. But yeah, maybe I can do another 9x9 if this video is especially short, but I think these two will take up the rest of the hour. There are higher order puzzles. I've always wanted a 13 by 13, but you know, I would have to dedicate a whole day to solving, and now that I'm a university student with high aspirations, that's not realistic. Let's see. Yeah, with odd layered puzzles, I get more disoriented because I have nothing to like ground myself. Usually I ground myself by looking at like the centerpiece, but now I have to do actual counting. So for example, this one is not a corner, but it's 2 over and 1 up, or like the second over and 3 up actually. And so I have to like do the actual counting to find one that fits. But there we go. That's the first stripe down. Let's see. Wow, I can't find any piece that, oh, there we go. It was on the top. Alright, and then now I just need a corner piece, which are really easy to find because they're in the corner. Yeah, so that's those ones done. Now I just need those. Man, my hands are getting tired. Just 2 more puzzles. That's this one done. And now I gotta do the yellow side. Or the yellow face. It's 3 edges, by the way. Now I need one that is 1 away from the center. So how would I build that? Oh. You see, these ones are especially tricky because you might be looking for, like, so if I want to create this line, I have to be looking for ones that are not on the center line. But here, this one is on the center line. However, if I rotate it, it's now one away from the two center lines, which means that it qualifies as a contender piece for this. So I'm getting stuck in tunnel vision. If it's not immediately in the right spot, then my brain is actually quick to discount it. But yeah, thankfully ones that are on the diagonals will always be qualifiers, or will never qualify for one that's not on a different diagonal. So for example, this corner piece, it'll be a corner piece, like, you know, forever. Let's see. So right now I'm looking for a corner that is one away from the actual corner. So, and I found it right there. All right, now I'm looking for edge pieces, and thankfully, if a piece is on an edge, it'll only ever be on the edge. So for all the yellow ones, they're only on the edges here. All right, so the yellow side is now done. Which side should I do now? I think I've started with green on all of these, so I guess I'll just continue that. Yeah, because the green is like, I can see a lot of patches of green that I can finish out. So like that one, that's the first green line, just 2 moves. Let's see. I feel like that could be a green line, but if I do that one. And then I can do this. That's 2 green lines, and now I can better orient myself. Can see that my my lips are in the shot, just like in the corner. I don't know how long it's been there. Oh well. Let me just like take a and when you've been sitting in the chair for like 44 minutes, your back starts to hurt. Ah, damn. That's an issue with these bigger cubes. God forbid anything gets misaligned and you follow through with a turn. You can have pieces that pop out, or God forbid they break. I had a very cool looking puzzle that had one of the pieces break, and yeah, you can't buy pieces individually, so you just have to buy the whole part, which is very unfortunate. Yeah. All right. Well, let me pause the recording and see if I can get this little piece back in its hole right there. All right. That actually took like 2 seconds, so the pausing was unnecessary. But yeah, now back to this. Green side's done. All right. I can do the orange one. God damn it. Okay, orange is on this side, which is on the side it's mostly on, so that's cool. Now I need these ones, so I can take this. Okay, that's part of another orange line. And I could do that. Oh, you know, actually, okay, I gotta do. Yeah, it's all, it's like I never even stopped. You know, it's all coming back to me now. God, my eyes hurt. I want to see if there's like anything in them. Okay, no, that's cool. Ugh, I shouldn't have touched my eyes. That was stupid. Oh well. I guess I'll be watery-eyed for the remainder of the video or of the day. Oh my god, I'm losing my orientation. So now you have that one. Oh. Ah, another pop. No. Okay, cool. No need to pause the video for a whole 2 seconds now. Thank God. And then I can move this here. Alright, cool. That's all of the faces done. To that one friend who has that really awesome backpack that I know, let me know if you get to this point in the video, please. None of, if anyone's an outsider to my life, if you're that one person that has like that really cool backpack that you know who I'm talking, like they know who I'm talking about. Yeah, just let me know, like shoot me a DM in Discord or something. And if you're that really special friend that well, I mean he also knows who he is. It's a different one, the one that does not. I mean, he has a backpack, but it's not that person with the backpack. There's a lot of people with backpacks, but yeah. Like I said, the commentary was gonna get pretty stale. What? Usually when it's 7:40, it's much darker out, but I guess these lights are sort of, I've been so used to being dark by around 8. It's getting there, so it's that one. Now I can put that in. Where did it go? There it is. It went to the top. Let's do the red one now, because all the red ones are up here and they're not on the bottom. Let's see. If you're that one friend of mine that is a fractal geometer, right? You know who you are. Just also let me know. Oh, dude, I don't even have a thumbnail for this video. That's crazy. I'll probably make it like a before and after of all these cubes, but I already have the after, so I didn't even bother taking the before picture. I guess I'm gonna have to scramble these all over again. Oh well. But yeah, it's probably gonna be like one of those thumbnails with like the big red arrow from like, one side to the other. With like the before and after. Maybe I'll have like some of it censored as well for no reason, but like it'll be poorly censored. So that would like drive up clicks. I'm not even doing this for like the videos, just need something posted. That's another edge. So, oh, I forgot. The white cross is now done. Now, let's see. This is the ASMR part of the for doing that again. Another edge down. You know what? I forgot I had these. I've been trying to build another edge. Well, the middles were still incorrect. Oh, wow. Wow, no parity on the 8x8? Or at least no immediate parity? It could be that, you know, all of the edges, or all of these need to swap with all of these, but that's like 3 parities, or 3 sub-parities. Like, I would say this is, if all of these are correct, this is like 3 different parities, because you would never have one of these edges occupying a different space in the middle. It'll only ever occupy these 2, and same with those inner edges and those inner edges. So that means either there are no parities or all 3 of these are parity, and we will find out later. It's all 3 parities. All right, well. Man, my hands are making this all slippery. What is this? Oh, cool, we got the other parity. I don't know how to do them adjacent, but I do know how to do them across from each other. I did this on accident once. Or I managed to come up with that algorithm by accident once. That's the 8x8 at an hour exactly, or nearly an hour exactly. So if this was all 35 minutes, and then this was this got us to an hour. That's 25 minutes for this cube alone. Oh. I'm solving the cube, by the way. You just can't see. All right. Well, it's solved, and in only a few seconds. Man, I'm really good at this. But yeah. So, oh shit. No, I'm kidding. This is the other 9x9 I had, but as you can see, this one is has like this little pillowing effect. This sort of counteracts like the really thick edges that I said earlier for the 6x6 and above. But I got this one mainly for the consistency across the other cubes. But yeah, this 9x9 turns much better than this one. Although this one's not bad. I think I lubed this one up actually, but it turned like crap before. Alright, time to solve this one. I'm gonna put this one back. And these are the only puzzles I'm gonna solve throughout this channel. There will be more, right? I'm planning on doing like at least 100 or so, right? No exaggeration. I want to do a ton because I have a ton of puzzles that I just never bothered to show off to anyone. Yeah, the outer layers are like really, really smooth, but like the inner layers are more backed up. Man, I haven't eaten all day. So that's that one. Like and subscribe if you made it this far into the video. God, I'm such a YouTuber. Oh, I messed that up. Dang. That's unfortunate. Wow, I really messed that up. What the hell? Oh, I'm getting disoriented. Where's the yellow? There's the yellow. It's the second line. I did the center line, so now I'm more oriented. Let's see, what other lines can we make? So we can do that one, that one. Another line. Man, I can remember when I got my first cube. It was my uncle. He took me to Walgreens, and now I don't think we've seen him since because, family troubles that I am not qualified to talk about. But yeah. I mean, he could have gotten me addicted to worse, right? My addiction, he fueled my cube addiction from when I was 7. I should have stated that. There was nothing else that I've ever been addicted to, except for Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, and Dr. Pepper. And Sriracha. I think you guys are ready for this to be, over as much as I am. I have single puzzles that take incredibly long to solve. Some of which I know how to solve, but I just never bothered to finish because it takes forever. Yeah, that puzzle's like all the way back at my original house. I'm in my dorm right now. Oh, the cool thing about, recording, speaking of the dorm, the cool thing about recording this and not having it be live is that the Wi-Fi is really, really bad here. Alright, another line for the yellow side. I maybe, because I have another monitor above me, I probably could play some YouTube video or something, but I think it would be cool if we were both present in the moment. I don't know, is this meditative for y'all? The focus is just to show what a solve looks like, right? And then I plan to explore the solves mathematically and then sort of extend the solve from the 3x3 to the 4x4 and then the rest by induction. So yeah, but right now let me just get something out there. What was I doing? I was doing something here. Whatever, let's build that line. That can go there. And then, oh, it's staring me in the face. That piece can go there. Nope. I've been trying to like manipulate like some of these pieces to go into their spot, only to realize like they're just not compatible. Silly me. And then this one, I can put that one here. Uh-oh, there we go. I'm looking for where's the yellow corner, and to my surprise, it's, you know, right there. All right, that is the yellow side done. At 1 hour 12 minutes. The times, they go up really fast, and I'm not a speed solver, so I could probably say like someone could solve like a really high order cube, right, in the time it takes me to solve like, you know, these smaller order cubes combined. You know, because it's a matter of not just dexterity at that point, but also just the knowledge of like what algorithms have been generated to, and like what tools are available to the solver. Oh, look at me! I started with orange again, just subconsciously. I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. Or did I start with green on those ones? Or I went to orange then green. I don't know. Ugh, I'm drawing a blank. Oh. There we go. It's a bit darker now. There we go. Another line. Now just two more for the orange. orange is done. It's just these three, which look pretty cool by themselves. It looks like some, you know, well, literally RGB, but you know what I mean. It's like you zoomed in onto the screen. All right, now we got blue, green. We got green now. Green looks better. All right, that's most of the green done. Oh, that was stupid. Shit. Another pop. Let's see if I can get this one back in just as fast. So, what did I do last time? Oh, yep, there we go. Cool. I remember on the other 9x9, I had a piece pop out and it fell onto the floor. And as we all know, things that fall onto the floor disappear forever. So I was like really sad, and like I decided to just clean the whole floor, and I couldn't find it for the life of me. So I just gave up on finding it, and I asked the manufacturer, like some manufacturer in China. This was like a few years ago, or I guess a year ago, 1 year ago. I don't know. I asked the manufacturer. It was like, hey, how much would you want to charge me for the piece? And then all of a sudden, my brother's in the room, and he picks out like a piece from the floor just automatically. I'm like, damn! Like he found it in like 2 seconds. So you know, I looked like a real goofball after that. But yeah, so just love your brothers, I guess. That's the moral of the story. That's the, you know what? I'm gonna make that the moral of the story. That's love your brother, right? Because who knows, you might find a piece to a puzzle that you've been looking for an hour, and then, yeah. Alright, cool. So that's the first half of the bread done, and now I can move on to the other half. Nope. No, another pop. Alright. Crisis averted. Oh, the cube got looser. There's no piece that fell out. No? Alright. Oh, whoops. Alright, almost done. Alright, cool. An hour and 24 minutes in. I think we did the math earlier. 25 minutes or so was for the whole thing, right? So this included the centers, edges, and the 3x3. Here's just the centers. So I think I can do this in under 2 hours. So let's try this. If I get to do this in less than 2 hours, you gotta hit that like and subscribe button. If I do this in, you gotta like and subscribe. Hit that bell. You gotta hit that subscribe button. Mr. Beast. Yeah, I should probably have warned you at the beginning. I tend to go on schizophrenic ramblings when I decide to solve one of these. So forgive me in advance if I ever have any more. See, I can match these red ones up. I can match these red ones up here as well. And then there's another red one. Red and white. When I refer to them by color, I refer to the secondary colors on the outside, and then the primary white and yellow colors. I call these like the main colors because like these are the ones you focus mostly on, and then you don't really focus much on any other colors. So yeah, when I refer to the red one, I'm talking about either the yellow red or the white and red. Alright. Now we have the white and green ones. So I see a few of them up here. I can match up these easily. Oh, that was nice. You know, originally when I wanted to do this, I wanted to stick the camera like in my mouth and like it would look like it would have looked like I had a GoPro on my head. And it actually looked decent, but it's kind of hard to talk with a camera in your mouth. Plus, I don't think I could have held on to it for an hour and 27 minutes at this point, and would have probably had to stand it up. So, good thing I was able to ramble. Right. This is one YouTuber I used to watch a lot who would do something similar to this. His name was Pete the Geek, and or Pete the Geek 187 or something. But he was also like a big puzzle collector, and I really liked his videos, but I don't see him uploading too often anymore. Or I stopped watching him when I went to uni, but like now on his profile it says like he hasn't uploaded in like 8 months or so. Actually, let me double check, make sure I'm getting that right. Alright, my bad. It said that he had stopped uploading in a year, actually. But yeah, and the it's Pete the Geek 196, not one whatever I said before. Oh, that's solved. Yeah, I think, yeah, I don't remember twisting it when the pause came up. Yeah. I had, whoa, I had an exceptionally big fear that I was just gonna, record this video without, just, yeah, like if I forget to turn on the mic, or like OBS crashes, or something or other. But thankfully it's, it's good so far. One more edge. Alright, that's 4 more edges, and now I'm gonna fix this area. 1 minute 31, or an hour 31. So I can move this up here. I'm gonna build a blue edge now. Blue and yellow. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this well below 2 hours. So that's what happened to that edge. Oh, it's gone off to Narnia. The hell? That's another one. All right. So we have our center edge, and we have two edges that match, but we have these pairs of edges I need to swap. So these two come over here, so that means we're going to do the parity over here. I feel my muscle memory failing me. All right, cool. Now it's the 3x3, which I've solved 7 times. Yeah, I wouldn't count this as a 3x3, but I've solved the 3x3, you know, that many times. All right, final turns, fellas. Gotta do this, you know, one move at a time to make it more dramatic. Bop, 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 bop. And then, do I know this? Yes, I do. It's one of the first algorithms I learned. Oh, whoops. Might be forgetting this one. All right, last turn. That feels good. All right. Well, I don't know how else to end this video, but yeah, thanks for sticking around. Let's just bring all of the cubes over here. Yeah. Look at that. That's pretty. So there's the 9x9, 8x8, 7x7, 6x6, 5x5, 4x4, 3x3, 2x2, and I should have brought my, why is this here? I should have brought my 1x1. That would have been, oh well. But yeah, at an hour and 36 minutes, I managed to solve all these cubes. You know, I really thought it would have taken me double the time, but yeah. In that cube. All right. Yeah. Thank you for watching.